What's good, everybody? My name is Kalen, joined by my co-host, as always, Luke or Raceweb. How you doing today, Ray?
Hey, I'm good, man. How about yourself?
I'm doing good, man. It's been a good day. I had class, went to the gym, ate some lunch. Now I'm,
Okay.
recording the pod with the boy. It's
Hey,
gonna be a good
productive. We'd love to
day.
see it.
Oh, yes, sir. You had class today too, right?
Yeah, we had our first maternity nursing class today. It was interesting, but definitely excited to get on with the podcast today and recap some NFL action.
Yes, sir. We've got an awesome lineup today. It's really exciting. We're starting off with our favorite moments from week 6. We're gonna be jumping into our predictions after that, and ending it off with some fantasy locks for week 7. We haven't talked about fantasy in a few weeks, but I've been killing on fantasy. I don't know about you, but it's been like a really good past few weeks from me. But let's jump right into our favorite week 6 moments. I'll start us off, man. How could I not talk about Dak Prescott's pass to CD Lamb in overtime to win the game? And not only did we win the very close game right there, but the Dallas Cowboys covered the spread with that touchdown pass in overtime. What'd you think of that game, Ray?
Well, listen, I mean, what we're seeing now with Dak Prescott is probably the best Dallas Cowboys team since Troy Aikman days. Um, Dak is proven to be a true Dallas Cowboys quarterback and handle all of the BS outside of the game. He's able to keep it cool, calm, collected, and engineer one of the best offenses in the NFL. I honestly, outside of Kansas City, I don't know if they're not the best offense in the NFL.
Well,
Dallas.
they're number one in offensive yards. They're number one in
Yeah.
points. They're number two in rushing yards. Number five in passing yards.
Yeah, no, it's great. I
I'd say
mean,
there's an argument for them to be number one,
and
but
listen, I mean, great. Make the fans happy. They win by 20 against, the Eagles. They win a pretty mostly comfortable game against Carolina. That's awesome, right? But to go into one of the toughest places to play and play against a very, very competitive Patriots team and win on the road like that, that was so impressive to see. It was really
yeah.
a good litmus test for the Cowboys. And I think, although that Patriots team looked good too, but man, the Cowboys really showed up there.
I mean, the Patriots, it's really crazy. This team, first of all, that was the most yards anyone's ever put up against Bill Belichick. Or sorry, the Patriots ran by Bill Belichick. Like, so since 2001 or 2000, that's the most yards anyone's ever put up on that team, which is just an incredible statistic. And then, I mean, when you think about it, the Patriots are a few plays from being like they've lost in overtime to the Cowboys. They missed a field goal against the Bucks that could have won them the game. They lost to the Dolphins by 1 point in week 1. They did get beat down pretty bad by the Saints, but like this team, I feel like they looked really good, man. I don't know. I think Mac Jones could turn out to be the best rookie quarterback out of this class because I think that's something that people are starting to see. I mean, his completion percentage is really high, but that's partially due to because they don't even use him. Like he had like 16 pass attempts going into the fourth quarter or 15.
It was 7 for 7 at halftime.
Yeah, it's
Like
crazy.
what?
The Cowboys defense is here the difference in between this year and last year. I think it's the similar Cowboys offense, but the defense instead of being the 30th ranked defense is like the 20th ranked defense or the
Yeah.
15th or whatever.
Right. No. And the emergence of Micah Parsons, Trayvon Diggs, Randy Gregory stepping up.
Yeah, absolutely. And so I think that's just been the difference maker this year. But man, I am so excited for this Cowboys season. We've got the bye week this week with Dak getting that he had a little calf sprain. So, we don't get to watch the Cowboys game next week, but they come back in week 8 against the Vikings, and they got the Broncos and Falcons. Man, I think the Cowboys are going to go into the Chiefs week 11 and might be a one-loss team. And that should be a great game. I'm really excited for it. Had to get my little Cowboys tirade out of the way quick because,
There
they don't play this week, so I don't get to talk about them. But I am so
you go.
happy. I predicted this before the season. I don't know why. I just knew like our defense was going to tighten up and we were going to be the powerhouse that I've always wanted us to be under Dak. So but let's jump into your favorite moment from week 6.
Yeah, my favorite moment is sort of a few big moments, and that was just the how good the overtime games were this week. We had three of them. We almost had four. Probably should have had four, but anyway, we had three of them. First, we had did we have four actually?
We had the Titans, Bills,
We did have four.
Cowboys, the Panthers.
We did have
Oh,
four. Okay, Titans Bills was not overtime.
it didn't. Sorry,
I'm
you're right.
not
Yeah,
counting
my
that.
bad, my
No,
bad.
so we did have four. So the first one was Dolphins Jaguars.
Oh yeah,
How good of a game was that?
it was
With
awesome.
Wright coming in there, hitting those two crazy kicks. Freaking, he bended it like Beckham, freaking to hit that one kick in to tie it, and then they won it in overtime, getting the Jags their first win. Brian Flores was not happy with that loss, but yeah, I mean, what a game that was for the Jaguars. Win
Big
that
win.
one,
Big win.
yeah, huge, absolutely huge. The next one was Vikings Panthers. That was a good game, just overall. It was really competitive. Panthers looked horrible at times. Vikings looked horrible at times. Panthers had 10 drops on the day, which is insane. Kirk Cousins played really, really well. Dalvin looked good. Panthers had a blocked TD punt, which is always exciting. And then Vikings were up 28-17 with like 5 minutes to go, and Panthers tied it. Then the Vikings went down, freaking lolcowed it with Joseph, missed the field goal, went into overtime, and then the Vikings just inserted dominance, and Kirk Cousins threw it to Osborne for the game-winning touchdown. So obviously I was a little crushed there that the Panthers didn't pull out the dub, but man, we fought hard, and we do need to play better in next games.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, and then we had the, of course, Cowboys Patriots, which we touched on, but that game was absolutely insane. Me and my dad were just watching it like, what is happening? Diggs got his touchdown, and then like the very next play, Mac Jones bombs it to Kendrick Bourne. That was so impressive.
Yeah.
And then the final was the Sunday nighter, which actually turned out to be really competitive. Looked like it might be a blowout with the Steelers leading 14-0 at halftime over the Seahawks. But the Seahawks fought back. Geno Smith fought back. And in the end, it was just too much TJ Watt. The game did go in overtime, but ended up being, I believe it was 23-20 Steelers win. Wow, TJ Watt's good. He's still, in my opinion, he's still the best defensive player in the NFL. Of course, Aaron Donald up there too, but man,
Miles
I gotta
Garrett
go
has something
TJ.
to say about that, man. He's been having a crazy season.
Who?
Miles Garrett, most sacks in the league.
Yeah, no, Miles Garrett's a beast, for
I think
sure.
third most
And
pressures in the league. He's playing well.
yeah, you got Chandler Jones up there too, Trayvon Diggs up there. There's some good defensive players this year.
Yeah.
But yeah, the overtime games have been great. The NFL is in some aspects better than ever. So
Yeah. I think week
man,
9 we're gonna touch on our like halfway through the season. Like going into week 9, we're gonna touch on our halfway into the season, like defensive player of the year, rookie of the year, all that stuff.
mhm.
And just kind of update our calls for that.
I like that. I like that.
But yeah, man, it was a great week of football. Those overtime games. Did you? Sorry, I kind of no. You got through all the overtime games. So yeah, it was a crazy week because we had 4 overtime games, right? And we also had 5 games where a team scored 31 plus and allowed fewer than 14 points. And there were only 5 games the entire rest of this season before this week. So it was a very weird week. We had 4 overtimes and then 4 just complete blowouts, or 5 complete blowouts. So, you know,
Wow.
a very interesting week to say the least. So, but the close ones were really good. But let's talk about my second favorite moment from week 6, man. This one, uh, I mean, what do I say? Joe Burrow dumps it off to Joe Mixon. Jamar Chase sprints downfield and sets up a beautiful downfield block for Joe Mixon to secure the touchdown. I mean, you just don't see that kind of play out of a top 5 pick wide receiver like ever. Like who would have thought that the Bengals who need blockers, it would be Jamar Chase. Like it's
I love it. I
who
love it.
needs Penei Sewell when you've got Jamar Chase downfield
Facts.
blocking, right? Like man,
Facts.
and this Bengals team is real. Like they were like you think about it. I was a doubter. I'm gonna admit you were right, honestly. Like they could very well be the best team in the AFC North if they beat the Ravens this Sunday. They're the best team in the AFC North. They are one of the best teams in the AFC. They are a missed field goal away from being a 5-1 team who beat the Packers and the who else did they beat that was good? I can't remember. Well, and the Ravens if they beat them this week. But regardless, this if they're competitive with the Ravens, the spread's 6.5. We'll talk more about this later, so I don't know why I'm getting so into it, but I just want to admit this team is the real deal. I mean, I'm sold as of now. They gave one of the best beatdowns to this Lions team yet, and I think they're gonna have a competitive game with this Ravens. What do you think?
Yeah, man. I think so too. I love the Bengals. I mean, I like you said, I like them from the beginning. Could see what they have going on. They've definitely bolstered that defense. Jesse Bates looking like a top 3, if not top
Yeah,
1 safety in the NFL. They need to go ahead and pay him already, to be honest. But yeah, man, they got something brewing there in Cincinnati. And if you're the Steelers and Browns, they better watch out because they might be the 2 odd teams out if they don't watch it.
yeah, it's
Which is crazy to say because a lot of people had Browns as a top 3 team coming
man,
into the year.
they might be at the end of this week. They might be 3-4. That's
Yeah.
something crazy to think about. I mean, that team, That roster is so talented. I don't know. They only have injuries to blame realistically. Like this team is just really injured offensively. They haven't had all their offensive starters the entire year. So I would love to see how their season turns out after they all recover. You know, hopefully they can get a bye week sooner than later. I'm not sure when it is. But yeah, that man, I couldn't get over it. I've watched that Jamar Chase block so many times. It was a fantastic play. And I mean, realistically, who's his comp for offensive rookie of the year besides maybe Najee Harris? Like Najee Harris is playing well, but I mean, Jamar Chase is top 3 in yards for wide receivers as a rookie. Like I don't know. I'm super excited for the rest of this Bengals year. Super excited to watch them keep going because you know I have a lot of friends who are Bengals fans and I would like to see them be successful after years of disappointment. Let's sorry, let's hop into our predictions. Ray, you've taken the lead on me in predictions.
All
Uh,
right, let's.
the one game we picked differently was Seattle and Steelers, and the Steelers ended up winning that game. It could have gone either way. When OT was a great game.
Yeah.
They covered spread like I wanted. That's all that matters, right? So you went 11-3. Your overall record is 65-29. I went 10-4, 64-30. So you got the one game lead again. Let's see where we differ this week. Let's start off with Thursday Night Football. I believe we're gonna disagree on this one instantly from what you've already said in the podcast.
Yep.
Broncos at Browns. Where's this game going?
Yeah, listen. I going to be honest, people might not believe me. I don't care if Baker's playing or not. I don't love how this Browns team is playing. I really don't. And I was already going to put Broncos winning, but now there's Case Keenum starting, still no Nick Chubb. I'm 100%. I'm going to go with a close game. I'm going to go with Broncos beating the Browns. I think they have a good team overall that's going to take over. And time of possession, they've got Javonte Williams, who, by the way, looks unbelievable. He looks like the next great running back. Running back out of North Carolina there, opposite Melvin Gordon, 5'9". And Broncos, I have Broncos over Browns 24-21. I'm loving what is it? For me, it's +2. Broncos +2. But yeah, I got Broncos winning this one.
I'm not with you, man. This Broncos team has been exposed as frauds. Let's be real. They won the first 3 games of their season to the Giants, Jaguars, and Jets. They've lost 3 straight now, and they weren't close in any of them. They got blown out by the Ravens. They got blown out by the Steelers with a late touchdown in the fourth to make it look closer, and they got blown out by the Raiders with a late touchdown in the fourth again to make it look a little closer. But all 3 of those games, they were not competitive. And I think the Browns defense is the best defense that they're going to see yet. I think they're going to shut them down, and that it's going to be a very low-scoring game. Um, Kevin Stefanski's a really good coach, and I think Case Keenum is probably one of the better backups in this league as of now. And I really believe that they'll be able to scheme around and win this game against the Broncos. I think it'll be, as I said, low scoring. I'm taking 17-14 Browns. No Baker, no Chubb, no Kareem Hunt. I think Jarvis Landry's activated off IR, but it doesn't say so on like depth charts. But I thought I saw a tweet about that. But I just the Broncos been getting clowned. We're already disagreeing, which makes me happy. It'll make Thursday Night Football even more fun to watch. Before Baker and Nick Chubb got rolled out, I'd already put some money on the Browns, so I'm gonna be extra rooting for them because got some money at stake. But yeah, let's move on to the Chiefs Titans. Where's this game going, Ray?
Chiefs Titans, man. Listen, these are 2 great rosters, but right now, I don't know, man. These 2 teams are trending both different ways, bro. I mean, Titans just had a huge win, huge home win. I believe they're back home in Nashville. Chiefs are traveling again.
Yep.
Yeah, this is tough, dude. I mean, the line right now, I think just refreshed, but I believe the line is 5.5 with the Chiefs favored. And I'm not gonna lie, I kind of want to take Titans money line. Definitely like Titans plus 5.5, and I'm gonna go ahead and predict the Titans over the Chiefs. I'm gonna go 31-24. Kind of surprised the Chiefs are favorites. I'm not gonna lie.
You know, Ray, a wise man once said, "You don't bet against Mahomes."
Uh huh.
And here's the thing: the Chiefs have not won a game against the spread. So I think you're completely right. I think Titans plus 5.5 is a lock. However, I think the Chiefs win this game. There's people like Mahomes, there's people like Tom Brady, there's people like Aaron Rodgers that you simply don't bet against because it's illogical and because you're never out of a game. You are always in the game with those quarterbacks in the backfield. So, I mean, obviously, with how the Titans just looked against the Buffalo Bills, you'd think they'd win this game, right? Well, the Chiefs did just hold their opponents to 13 points. They managed to not let a team run down the field on them and score over and over. Granted, the Washington football team is just a little bit weaker on offense than the Titans, just a little bit though. But um, I
Hey, even
do
they were winning at halftime though.
yeah I do think this is another game where Mahomes, he'll throw for 404. Like it's just what he's gonna do. If his defense can hold the Titans to under 40, they'll probably win the game because the Titans defense is awful. Their secondary is done. They had they had like three available defensive backs on Sunday night to play or on Monday night, excuse me. And I just don't see them stopping Mahomes or this Chiefs offense, especially with Tyreek Hill full go and Kelsey a full go. But I got a 35-32 Chiefs. Did you say your score?
Yeah, 31-24 Titans.
Okay, interesting. Well, we're disagreeing on the first two games. I'm happy. I doubt we disagree on this next game though. Washington football team with the Packers. I'll open it up. I'm gonna take it Packers all day. I don't see them losing this game. I even see this crazy 9.5 point spread is pretty safe. I mean, the football team just put up 13 points against the Chiefs defense. What are they going to do against the Packers defense, who's actually been above average this season? There's not much to talk about. I feel like it's a pretty safe game, I think, for the Packers. What do you think, Ray?
Yeah, I agree. I think it's a very safe game for the Packers. I think Packers are hitting their stride right now. They won a huge division game in Chicago, and Washington football team just needs to figure some things out. They're talking about possibly moving safety Landon Collins to linebacker. They're just trying to figure some things out for their defense right now, and I think it'll be a little while till Ron Rivera gets their defense back to last season's form. And so I'm going to go ahead and say Packers win this one. I think they cover the spread. I believe it's like 9 right now. I want to say.
Yeah, 9.5.
Yeah, 9.5. I want to say they cover that. But I don't know. Washington football team could fight, but I'm gonna say the final score here is Packers win 34-20.
Yeah. It's dead. I think the Packers definitely score 30 at least. They've given up 30 plus points or 29 plus points since week 2. The Giants got 29, Bills 43, Falcons 30, Saints 33, Chiefs 31. The Packers offense is better than every single offense except maybe the Chiefs and no, maybe the Bills, but I think the Packers offense is probably better than the Bills. Um so yeah, I think we're in agreement here. I got 31-17 Packers or 30-13 Packers. Sorry, I was reading the wrong game. Let's move on to another game that we talked about already a little bit that we're both really excited for. Bengals at Ravens. I'm gonna let you lead this one off since you're the Bengals believer. Where's this game going, Ray?
Yeah, man, I really am the Bengals believer. But if you remember my preseason predictions, I had the Bengals making the wild card and the Ravens being the number 1 seed. And I really thought the Chargers were actually going to upset the Ravens last week. Boy, they did not.
Yeah.
The Ravens won that game 34-6, absolute beatdown. And I believe this game is in Baltimore again. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I want to say I like, what is it, 6.5 right now? I want to say I do like Bengals plus 6.5. If I was betting, I honestly think I might bet plus 6.5 because I like that a lot. But I do think Ravens get the win, and I'm going to go 28-25. Ravens win.
Yeah, I'm with you. I like the Bengals plus 6.5. I think it's a safe bet. I um I am with you as well, and I think the Ravens win this game. I would not be surprised if the Bengals did win based off their past performances this season and based on how this team looks and really how Jamar Chase looks unstoppable. I mean, teams know, all these NFL teams know that Joe Burrow is only hitting Jamar Chase downfield. He's the only target that gets hit. I mean, he has, I think, 3 touchdowns for over with that are passes that went over 30 yards in the air this season, and they're all to Jamar Chase. And last year he had 0. So, the Ravens secondary is pretty dust. I don't think they're gonna be able to cover him. but I think that the Ravens offense is too explosive. It's going to be a great matchup. Super excited. Definitely my favorite 12 o'clock game this week. I'll definitely be watching this one. Um, but yeah, I've got Ravens 24-20 over the Bengals. Let's move on to the next game. Your team is playing in New York against the Giants. Where is this game going, Ray?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think the Giants are any sort of condition to face any teams right now. They look horrible. They're riddled with injuries. I definitely love Panthers -3. I think we pretty much dominate that game. Um, I don't know. I know we don't have CMC, but we get Stephon Gilmore, which is
Yep.
going to be huge. He's practicing today, so that's huge. Yeah, I think we absolutely dominate him. I'll say maybe we win like 31-17, but I definitely think the Panthers get back on track and take over the Giants this weekend.
You know, last 2 weeks, I've been a Panthers believer.
Mm.
Been a Panthers betting man. I put money on them 2 weeks in a row because you know what? They
Mm.
should have won those past 2 weeks.
Yeah, they should have. You're not
No
wrong.
excuse they lose either of those games. I think they
Right,
have a better
agreed.
I think they have a much better team than both those teams. Um I think if CMC played, they win both those games as well, to be
Agreed.
fair.
Agreed.
Um if they let me down again this week, I will slander your team for the rest of the year because they have killed 2 weeks in a row. I have lost 5+ leg parlays due to the Panthers losing.
Oh, same. Oh, I have too. I've lost probably. I'm down probably thousands from
I
them.
think Panthers -2.5 is the freest bet of the week. And if they lose this game, Ray, we will have beef for the rest of the year. I will slander them. I will never take them in. I don't even they could play the Washington football team with a wide receiver at QB. I'm taking the football team because
Fair, fair.
they're frauds. If they do not win this game by at least 2 touchdowns, I will be disappointed. Again, I'm with you 31-17. I think that's the score. Um, if the Giants can even put up 17 points. I think we're seeing eye to eye on this. I just wanted you to know that if they let me down again, I will hate them forever. Let's move on. Falcons at Dolphins. This is a game I think we might disagree on. I'm taking the Dolphins here. Tua played well last week against the Jaguars. He threw for 330 yards and 2 touchdowns. He looked great. He was hitting hard passes. His defense really just let him down. They had a good lead, and then the defense couldn't stop Trevor Lawrence and the Jaguars. So I'm taking Dolphins money line at +125. It seems free. I think it's a closer game though. Dolphins 30-24, maybe 27-24. What do you think, Ray?
Yeah, I mean we're pretty much pretty much on polar opposites in this one, man. I think the Falcons definitely are coming into their own now. I think Kyle Pitts is finally getting going there for Atlanta. I think these are two somewhat evenly matched, mediocre teams. Sort of like that yellow zone in the NFL. Not terrible, but not really even average either. But I like the Falcons in this one, man. I really do. I don't. The Dolphins have not impressed me in a single game this year, except week 1 when they beat the Patriots, and even then they won 17-16. They just don't look good. They don't look oiled up. Tua is kind of mediocre at best. I don't know. They lost to the Jags. I don't think there's anything more else to say. I mean, I think the Falcons take this one. I like Falcons -2.5. Yeah, I mean, right now I've got Falcons winning this one 23-17 over the Dolphins.
Yeah, and to touch on real quick, I mean, dude, these teams are both really bad. Let's be real.
Yeah.
I don't think either of them are mediocre. I mean, the Falcons just barely squeaked by the Jets. Um,
I mean, the Jets did beat the Titans.
yeah, but they were missing AJ Brown and Julio. That team was
No, I
pretty.
feel you. I feel
That
you.
team was really injured. I think the Titans are much better than I think they're gonna get better as their team gets healthier
Oh,
over
I
these
agree.
next
That's
few
why I picked them
weeks.
against the Chiefs.
Yeah, but I mean, they barely beat the Jets. They lost the football team and they beat the Giants by a field goal. So, um, not impressed by either of these teams. I just think they have the edge because I think Tua is the better quarterback. I mean, he looked really good last week. I don't know if you were up watching that game, right?
I watched the end of it, a little like the last quarter.
Yeah, he looked good, man. He looked precise. He looked, poised. He looked good. Let's not hang on this game too much. We got an exciting um AFC East matchup next. Sorry, I had to think of the division. I don't know why I blanked. Jets at Patriots. This is their second matchup. The first one was in The first one was in New York, and it ended in, I think it was 26 or 25-6, with the Patriots just shutting down the Jets, completely dismantling them. Now Zach Wilson and the Jets have to travel to Foxborough and try and take on this Patriots team. I don't think it's very close. The Pats, last time I checked, were only -7 favorites. I think they decimate this team again. I'm calling 31-14 Pats. Uh, the Jets would be lucky to put up 14 points. Sorry, that was my prairie dog if y'all heard that. Um, yeah, where do you think this game is going, Ray?
Yeah, I mean, I think Zach Wilson's finally coming in his own a little bit more. He's looked now it's 2 weeks in a row now. He's had some good games, um, but so are the Patriots and so are Mac Jones. They should have beaten the Cowboys last week, and I think they're going to come off the vengeance. We all know Bill Belichick is an absolute beast against rookie quarterbacks. And I agree, the -7, like I'm almost surprised it's only -7. I like -7. Definitely for the Patriots there. I'm going to go and go. I think the Jets might keep it somewhat competitive. I'll go right now 27-17. Patriots get the dub.
Yeah, I like it. And something we touched on last, I think it was last or week before last. Zach Wilson, he had a hard schedule to start off. He played some good defenses. He went to Titans and then he went to Atlanta, and he did
Right.
look a little better. But I mean, I think he's going to be playing a better defense. I think Judah is going to sack him a few times. I think he's going to be in a real rough spot this upcoming week, and I think he's going to go back to that turnover machine form, just because he's playing a good defense again, man. And I think that he's just not prepared for it in the NFL yet. But let's move on to the next game. We got Eagles at the Raiders, two of the classiest fan bases in the NFL. Where's this game going, Ray?
Yeah, really. Um, I don't know. This is a weird game, man. This is a really weird game. Part of me wants to be like, okay, so the Eagles, they had some good moments at the end of the game, last couple quarter or so against the Bucks, and the Raiders beat a good Broncos team in Mile High. I don't know. It's tough, man. I tend to lead towards the Raiders -3. I'm gonna say Raiders do get the dub 27-24, but I'm not sure about betting this game, and I could definitely see this game going either way. I think these are two pretty evenly matched teams. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm pretty with you. I think these teams are pretty evenly matched. I think they're both middle of the pack. Um, I do lean towards the Raiders because they look more complete, and I also think they have the better quarterback.
Agreed.
They just have the better offense by far. Josh Jacobs is better than Miles Sanders. Derek Carr is better than Jalen Hurts. Um, Darren Waller is miles better than Dallas Goddard, and I think Goddard might be out with COVID, or maybe I'm thinking of someone else. Actually, no, I don't. I think I'm thinking of someone else. But regardless, I mean, I just offensively this isn't a matchup, and then defensively the Eagles are still not good. Lane Johnson for their offensive line is still not back. I don't know. I think the Eagles are just kind of in like they're definitely in rebuild mode. They're not gonna be putting up competitive matches very much. I've got Raiders winning this game 27-17. I think Raiders -3 is a good bet. They're at home. It should be a pretty safe win for them. I don't see it going either way. But let's move into the biggest spread of the week. Lions at Rams. I don't think there's much to say about this game. It's a 15.5 point spread. Uh, which seems enormous for the NFL. That's like a college football spread. Obviously, I'm taking Rams. Probably I'm taking them winning by 15. I probably won't bet this game just because of garbage time. The Rams might put in their second string defense in the whole fourth quarter, and the Lions could score two touchdowns and cover. So I'm probably not going to touch this game. What do you think, Ray?
Yeah, this one's weird just because like it's one thing if you're betting a big spread against like the Texans where the offense could be just like a dud. But if you're talking about the Lions who the Lions have actual talent on their offense.
Yeah.
They have a good offensive line, like they have good running backs. Goff isn't like completely horrible. But I don't know, man. This one's weird. I'm probably gonna as well stay away from the odds, from the betting at least. Um if I had to pick a score, I'd say Rams win at 28-10. But like this game could easily be like 34-28 with the Lions scoring like 17 in the fourth quarter. Something weird. I mean, the Rams should win easily, but I just don't know about betting this game because like I don't know, it could be weird. But I definitely think the Rams take the dub.
What was your score prediction again? Sorry.
28-10
28-10.
is what I'll
Yeah.
say.
Yeah, man. This Rams team is good. I mean,
Yeah.
Cooper Kupp is. We need to talk about that for a second. What the hell? Like Cooper, what is he doing this year? This guy is
Yeah.
unguardable.
It's insane.
I mean, you'd think he's literally Julio Jones, prime Julio Jones, the way he's playing this season. I mean,
Yeah.
he's no
It's
one can
ridiculous.
even guard him. And then you've got Daryl Henderson. Like
Yeah. He looked
he's been in the
great.
league for a while, and he literally just or not a while, but a few years. And I mean, he had some runs on Sunday against the Giants. I know it's the Giants, but I mean, they were just really high level plays. Like they were just like good vision, good awareness, good patience, cutbacks. He looked really good, and it was just I don't know. I'm kind of sold on him. I think he people who've known me and known my football takes for years, you might remember this. I was never high on Todd Gurley, and he was literally in MVP talks the year they went to the Super Bowl. I think Daryl Henderson might be as good, if not better, than Todd Gurley in 2018, just from a running standpoint, not from a touchdown standpoint, but just from a runner. He looks really talented. Um, but let's move on to the next game. We got Bears at Bucks. Where is this game going, Ray?
Bears Bucks should be interesting. The line is pretty big. I'm not sure. This is another weird one. I don't know. I tend to say, what is it, like 9 right now? Something like that.
When I looked, it was
Um,
13 and a half.
Whoa, wait, what?
Let
13
me
and
verify real quick on Bet Online. The FanDuel spread that I'm using in our YouTube graphic is 13 and a half.
okay.
Uh, let's see. It's 13 on Bet Online right now.
Gotcha. Okay.
It's pretty big.
Um, yeah, that is big. Dude, I'm not gonna lie. I almost want to take the Bucks there.
Whew.
Um, yeah, I know. They're at home, right? I mean,
Yeah.
it's tough, man. I really don't know. This is tough. I think I would lean towards Bucks for the spread, but this one's I hate. I hate big spreads, man. I don't. I like to stay away from it if I can. I would probably lean towards Bucks spread, but Bucks definitely gonna take this one. Come on now, 33-17 over the hapless Bears, unfortunately.
Yeah, I feel bad, man. The Bears, they just I don't know. I don't want to unfairly rate Justin Fields because, let's be real, Matt Nagy is just not a good head coach. I think his time with the Bears is coming to an end. Um, but their offense just can't seem to get things going. They've scored more than 20. They've scored over 20 points, I think, one time this entire season. And the league average of points per game is 20. So, um, it's just that they're a very below average team offensively. And they can't seem to get things going. This Bucks defense is very injured. I think this will be a good game for Justin Fields to maybe get downfield to Darnell Mooney, Allen Robinson, really hit these downfield targets because of that roughed up Bucks secondary. So I think that it's going to be closer than a 13-point game, but this Bucks team could definitely shut them out. I think Brady probably throws for 350 yards and 4 touchdowns again because that's just what he does at this point.
Yep.
His connection with Antonio Brown is fantastic. You mentioned it last week, and what did they do on Thursday night? I mean, he hit him 11 times. It was and they couldn't. They no one can guard him. I mean, was it your tweet or was it someone else's that was like, when is it time to admit that Antonio Brown's the best wide receiver on the Bucks? And I
It
think
was somebody else, but I completely concur.
I think it is. Like he may be older and he might have taken some time off from the NFL. But dude, this guy, he's unguardable. And I don't know what you're gonna do against this offense because if Brady can just hit Antonio Brown wide open, and even if you double Antonio Brown, he'll hit Godwin or Evans downfield. Like, man,
Yeah.
it's an incredible talent. It might be one of the best receiving corps of all time. Let's not linger on this too much. I got off topic. I've been doing that a lot today. I'm realizing I'm still off some pre-workout, so I think that might be why.
Cracked.
Um, yeah, but I got Buccaneers winning this game 27-17. Uh, I'm probably not going to touch the spread. Probably not going to touch the game betting realistically. But let's move on to the next game on the slate. I was completely wrong when mentioning the Rams Lions as being the biggest spread. We got Texans at Cardinals. This spread is 17 and a half. Where's this game going, Ray?
A weird feeling. I don't know how to describe it, but I actually
Don't.
don't hate Texans plus 17 and a
Oh,
half.
okay.
Okay. I don't know why. What were you thinking I was gonna say they're gonna win?
Yes, I thought you were gonna say that, and I was gonna have a panic attack. I was gonna.
Nah, man. I mean, the Texans were they've been competitive a little bit. They should have beaten the Patriots. So I don't know. I don't hate Texans plus 17 and a half here. I know they got blown out by the Colts, but I'm just saying I think they could make this competitive. I probably won't bet it, but I'm just saying if I had to. But yeah, Cardinals getting this one. Let's be honest. Um, I actually have them winning by 22. My prediction here, 38-16. Um, but yeah, so I definitely think the Cardinals are going to absolutely destroy the Texans regardless of the
Yeah.
score.
I mean, I think this could be another game where the Texans get shut out possibly, and
Yeah,
they lose by 35 plus realistically. Um, this is a revenge game for J.J. Watt. This is a revenge game for DeAndre Hopkins. Um, I don't know, man. I think this team is about to just decimate them. I am sold on the Cardinals. There's no more skepticism out of me. They are the only undefeated team remaining, and they've done it while facing the fourth hardest schedule in the NFL. They have not had pushover games. They are the real deal, and this team is probably going to win the NFC West convincingly. I mean, I'm probably going to eat my words now that I say that, but man, they are the real deal. I'm sold on them. I'm no more doubting. It's just like with the
yeah,
Bengals. I'm not doubting them anymore. Um, I believe in them fully. I think J.J. Watt, and
he
Chandler
was so
Jones.
good. Oh my word.
Yeah, I think Chandler Jones and J.J. Watt have probably four combined sacks, five combined sacks against this Davis Mills led Texans team. Um, I don't see this game being close. 17.5 is an insane spread, but I'd probably take it. Let's move on though to the Sunday night football game. Uh, I I think this is actually gonna be a really good game. I don't think it's gonna get a lot of viewers because it's kind of too not that crazy markets. Colts at Niners. Where's this game going, right?
Yeah, so Colts Niners should be interesting, man. It's actually gonna be kind of a cool. It's a little refreshing having a couple of these teams on Sunday night rather than like, no offense, like the Cowboys or Patriots or Bucks all the time.
Yeah.
Um, so I like how they're doing that. Yeah, like I got 49ers here about 4-point favorites. I like Colts +4. I think the 49ers coming into the season are an overrated team. I still think they're overrated. I still think the Colts are underrated. Um, they should have beaten the Ravens. They should be what, like a 3-3 team right now. I like the Colts here. I think they get the dub. I'm gonna go Colts win this one over the Niners 24-17.
Um, I am obviously gonna disagree with you. You're high
Yep.
on the Colts. I'm not high on the Colts. You're not high on the Niners. I'm high on the Niners. Niners are coming off a bye week. They're gonna be refreshed. They have Elijah Mitchell back. Debo Samuel's chilling. Brandon Ayuk's chilling. Unfortunately, they do not have George Kittle, but I think they win this game.
Is
Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, I was just say who's their quarterback?
And they haven't announced it yet. Jimmy G and Trey Lance they both have a Q tag.
Okay, I
So we'll
gotcha.
see. But one of them is gonna come to this game, and I think they're gonna win, man. I'm not sold on this Colts team. T.Y. Hilton is back, and he did look pretty good on Sunday against the Lions, though, of course. Also, something to know, Jonathan Taylor is really coming to form these last 2 weeks. He's
Oh
really played
yes.
well. I mean, but also against the Lions, he went into the half with 5 carries for like 16 yards or something.
Yeah, he only had 14 for the whole game. Like he
Yeah.
makes the most out of his production.
Well, I'm just confused on why they weren't using him. It
Yeah.
seems like some bad play calling, honestly. But I mean, they ended up winning by 30, so it doesn't matter. But it was the Lions. I think as a football team, you should use your best players as much as you can, and I think Jonathan Taylor is probably the best offensive player they have. But yeah, probably. So him, Michael Pittman. But I think the Niners win this game. I'm expecting to be low scoring with a field goal being the difference in the game. It's going to be a good game, and I can see it going either way. I think the Colts are really proving that they just had a rough first few weeks. I think that turnaround in Miami was really the difference maker for them this season. And I think Carson Wentz has been playing better these last few weeks, which is surprising to me. He had along with the rest of the Colts, he had a rough first few weeks, but he's really turned around his play these last few weeks. So I think this is a good test for them to see if they're actually really that good or if they're just been playing a few bad teams these last 3 weeks. But yeah, I'm taking Niners 2017. Let's move on to the Monday night football game, which should be a meat show. It's the Saints at the Seahawks. Where's this game going, Ray?
Saints Seahawks, man. I went back and forth a little bit on this. I'm not sure who I like in the spread. Is it like what 4.5 right now? About I think something like that. If I
Yeah.
had to go though, man, I think I'm gonna go with the Saints. I think they're the better team right now. think the Seahawks have some stuff to figure out. I'm gonna go Saints win this 27-17 over the Seahawks.
That's we have the exact same score prediction, exact same win. Uh, I
There you go.
agree. I think the Saints are the better team. They've looked inconsistent. The Seahawks did not look awful against the Steelers, but I don't think the Steelers are very good. So I think the Saints should definitely win this game. If the Saints lose this game, it is time to go, panic mode for the Saints. I think it's
Yeah,
time. It's time to abandon ship with Jameis. It's time to abandon ship with Taysom. They probably need to trade for Deshaun Watson or literally anyone. Maybe sign Cam. I don't know. Uh, I
that'd be
I
cool.
I think Cam needs to enter the NFL. There's a lot of teams struggling, like the Washington Football Team, the Seahawks, the Saints. I don't know. I don't know why he isn't in the NFL. I don't think he's like some crazy talent, but I do think that he's a better option than a lot of these quarterbacks that are starting. And the thing about Cam is that regardless of his talent, he brings like this extra element to the team because he's such a great leader and he has such a strong locker room presence. I mean, he's just so charismatic that you can't help but not like him and respect him as a leader in that locker room.
Yeah, for sure.
So, I mean, I think he should be brought into this to some team. Saints lose this game, they call Cam Newton, they call Houston, try and get Deshaun Watson something, man. Uh, but yeah, it's definitely panic time if they lose this game. Either of these teams could take it. Let's move into our last segment. That concludes the predictions for the week. We disagreed on what, like 4 games? I think
Something
so.
like that.
That makes it way more exciting
Yeah, I'm
because
excited.
if I don't bet on a game, I can at least hope to beat you. Kind of like Monday Night Football. I was just
Emphasis on hope, right?
you're 1 game up, buddy. Don't get cocky. Um, let's move on to the fantasy locks of the week. Um, so for those of you listening, I do DraftKings more, Racewag or Luke does FanDuel more. So most of his picks will probably be based off of FanDuel prices, and mine will be off of DraftKings prices, but I do play both sites, so I might mention a FanDuel price. But what's your favorite pick of the week for FanDuel, Ray? Or just for fantasy?
Yeah, so my favorite sort of picks are going to go ahead and be Cooper Cup paired up with Matthew Stafford. Okay, now obviously like those are good players, but I think they're going to go crazy on FanDuel this week. I definitely am playing Cooper Cup, and some GPP lineups I'll probably throw in some Matthew Stafford as well. They're at home against a bad Detroit Lions team, but here it is. It's the Lions. It's revenge game for Matthew Stafford. I think they're going to go absolutely nuts. I could see them getting a combined like 50 to 60 fantasy points on FanDuel. Those guys wake up at 4 in the morning and eat breakfast together, bro. Those guys are absolutely locked the frick in, and I've got those two for my fantasy locks.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it. We've talked about it before. I mean, Cooper Cup is like how much? What's his price on FanDuel, by the way? Real quick.
His price on FanDuel is 8,800,
That's a
which
good
I mean,
price. That's a good
it is.
price.
It's not crazy high. He had last 3 weeks. Not too, well. Last week he went crazy against the Giants, but
Oh yeah.
previous two he didn't do incredible. And on the flip side, Matthew Stafford's 8,100. I mean, he's cheaper than Jalen Hurts, Lamar, Kyler, and Patrick Mahomes. So I don't hate Matthew Stafford either. I think it'll be good.
Oh no, the Cooper Cup at 8,800 is a lock. I mean, on DraftKings he's 8,400, which I think is getting too expensive for a wide
Yeah,
receiver on
yeah, yeah.
that
No, no,
site.
no. That's definitely expensive compared to how FanDuel is.
But I mean, the thing is, you mentioned he had bad weeks against Arizona and Seattle, but I mean, his bad week against Seattle or Arizona, he had 13 targets. The lowest targets he's seen this season is 10. He's seen it twice. And, I mean, against Seattle, he had 7 catches for 92 yards, which isn't a crazy fantasy game, but it's a good game regardless, man. I mean, he's just unguardable, man. He looks like prime Julio out there, averaging
Yeah.
27 fantasy points per game, for PPR at least. So, I mean, anytime you take Cooper Cup, I'm going to say it's a good play because he is not slowing down this season anytime soon. I like your picks a lot. Matthew Stafford is I think he's the QB7 this year so far. Maybe I think he's QB8 actually. So can't go wrong with that against this Lions team. I really do. I actually have a Rams player myself. I'll hop right into that. Daryl Henderson Jr.
Ooh.
Touched on it earlier. He looks phenomenal. He looks like he's really talented, really patient. Joe Mixon put up 27 on the Lions last week, fantasy points. and I could see Darrell Henderson putting up 25 plus. The Rams O line is much better than the Bengals. Also, Darrell Henderson is only 6.6K on DraftKings. I think he's 8K on FanDuel, which is a little less. That's a little more steep. There's
Yeah,
about 1,000 price difference between the two sites, salary wise. So um, he's really cheap on DraftKings though. He's a running back who's gonna get 20 plus carries and multiple targets. So I think he's a lock on DraftKings this week, an absolute lock. My second pick, which I think is a slightly underdog pick, it's AJ Brown versus the Chiefs.
I like it.
I mean, he looked fantastic in the second half versus the Bills. I mean, he was recovering from food poisoning, and he didn't really play much in the first half. And then he came out, and Julio was sidelined. Did you notice that?
No, I didn't even see that.
Yeah, Julio was sidelined for the entire last two drives, except for I think one play. Um, which is really weird to me. And AJ Brown just dominated. Him and Tannehill were connecting like last year and the year before, or sorry, just last year. That he's a second year player. Um, but yeah, they were connecting really well, and I think he's gonna keep it up against this weak Chiefs defense. So he's 6.3K on DraftKings, which is incredibly cheap, and 7K on FanDuel. I'm gonna play him on both sites most likely, unless there's just better plays that I haven't seen yet. But yeah,
I
what do you
like
think?
that. I like it a lot.
Yeah. Well, that is gonna conclude today's episode. It was a shorter one, no guests this week. So that slows things down. Anything else to say, Ray?
I think I'm good, man. That was a great pod. I love talking sports. I cannot wait to see what happens this week. It's gonna be some fun matchups.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I'm really excited. There's a lot of blowouts, and there's a lot of good games. So, but thank you all so much for sticking around until the end. Y'all know we love this so much, and we're gonna keep doing it for months to come. We're super excited for these week seven matchups. Just make sure you guys follow us on all of our socials. It's at Huddle Break on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. And once again, thank you for taking a break from the huddle with us.